For this project, I chose to dissect a page from Spider Man Spider Shadow, written by Chip Zdarsky, illustrated by Pascal Ferry, and colored by Matt Hollingsworth. The particular page I'll be talking about is found in the first issue. For background information, this story is the retelling of Peter's run in with the black suit after Secret Wars. In this novel, he keeps the suit instead of giving it to Reed Richards to experiment on. We see Peter not only take a turn for the worse while he fights not only himself, but the suit's power as it consumes his every being and makes him into something intolerable and even deadly. In the first panel, we see Peter grasping onto Hobgoblin after he had attacked Aunt May's house. Because of the symbiote suit not liking fire and in being afraid of it, Aunt May dies in the explosion as it prevents him from entering the house. Instead of Peter getting angry with the suit, the symbiote instead turns his anger into blaming Hobgoblin. He is now letting all the bad things that happened to him fill into his hatred and anger towards Hobgoblin. We see a separation in the beginning of this page with a white border, almost as if we are stepping away from the narrative. What we are about to witness will change not only the story, but also Peter. In the panel, we see Peter surrounded by Aunt May, MJ, and Black Cat. They are withered and decayed, almost like ghosts that are haunting him. He feels as if he cannot protect those he loves, and death follows him. The webs are cleverly intertwined not only to Hobgoblin, but they direct our attention towards their interaction. The webbing is sharp and prominent in the panel and appears so strong and almost confident. The webbing begins to form as a character, something that Peter is now using more so as ever than a weapon. Peter appears bigger than usual, as his size overpowers him. The red and orange not only shows the fiery explosion, but symbolizes anger, frustration, and a rage within Peter as he has lost another loved one. And usually during Spider-Man's fights, we see him quip or give speeches to the criminals he fights. In this page, though, he does not say a word to him as he begins to hover over him. It is more menacing that he's not directly talking to Hobgoblin, but rather his own inner dialogue. It is like he is subconsciously talking to the symbiote without realizing it. He is almost letting it justify what he is doing. The second panel is arguably the most shocking. We are seeing Peter crushing Hobgoblin's skull with his bare hands. Peter's hands are no longer human, but rather pointy and alien-like. They dig into him and make him open his mouth into what we can only assume is a cry of pain. The webs surrounding him are seen as even suffocating in the panel, wrapped tightly around him and holding him there with no escape. While there was already a reddish-orange color palette, it is highlighted more by the spray of blood from him. His face is almost replicating the decayed faces from the panel before, like Peter wants him to become like them. Our third panel is by far the scariest. We no longer see our beloved Spider-Man, but a husk of him being used by the symbiote to further his anger and hatred. He is skeletal, his face contorted into something of pure danger. Blood is coated on this panel and seeps onto him. He is being forever tainted by what he is doing. No matter where this story goes, our Peter has been stained. The tendrils of black adorn him, almost like arms that are waiting to consume Peter even more. The lines on his face are sharp and pointed, like he wants Hobgoblin to see him as menacing as possible. In the small panel besides this one, we see only a splash of blood. While it is separated from the rest of the panels, it tells us the most information. Peter has killed Hobgoblin. And a clever way to not show only him directly mutilating him, it leaves the reader with the heaviness to connect the dots. In this final panel, it is the most difficult one to look at. We see Hobgoblin's body hanging from the tree, limp. Once again, the webs are their own character as they hold his body up, directing our eyes to his corpse, wanting to stay there. The panel is missing Peter, so we no longer have hues of orange or red, but rather a sickly green and gray to show his absence. While his rage once filled the page, in the last panel it is shown to have been taken with him, as nothing is left when he is finally gone from him. The light is the only source of warmth as it cascades down his body, his orange costume like a sore thumb to the background colors. We are left with the white panel next to it, to not only soak in and absorb the death of a villain, but to sink into the fact that Spider-Man has killed someone. While white usually symbolizes purity and innocence, we now see it as something that is comforting the reader. The white is letting the page breathe, the heaviness to settle, and the darkness to loom on the panel of Hobgoblin's corpse. Overall, this page, in my personal opinion, is the ultimate turning point for Spider-Man in this comic. He is now fully consumed by the symbiote and is letting it dictate his entire character. We see a beloved superhero turn so dark so quickly, and it's frightening. It shows how powerful he is and what he is capable of. Thank you so much.